can call them McDonald. If you try to say on the back, you put a letter M on the back.
We are very excited, and I know Uriah had been really pushing for this trip to happen quickly, because when you come and see for yourself, it makes a big difference.
Sure.
Obviously, nowhere is exactly the same. Everywhere things are a little bit different. So I just encourage you, ask as many questions. You know, it's more of an exploratory trip to understand how the model works, what are the benefits, how can we, because in your area, you have a beautiful area, and the wildlife, I know, comes and goes. The wildlife is a problem. How can we work together to make the wildlife start giving you some benefits back?
The difference is in the vegetation, because Kawalakol area or Karenga district has more vegetation and is green, as compared to the Mara, which is mostly bare and dry.
You can see the most shrubs around, the playlands around, and some difference. We have higher mountains on the other side, big trees on the other side, and we don't get actually plain lands like the one we share here.
First of all, we don't have the wild beasts the other side. We also don't have, particularly in Kidepo National Park, I'm not meaning other parks. Even the hippopotamus, we don't have in Kidepo.
The place is good, and I think it should have been of recent when it rained. That's why we have a collection of water points. The rivers are flowing, which makes sure at least the animals collected together.
The landscape here in Kenya is a bit plain, and there's some raised landscape. But ours there, we have some land ranges, like we have mountainous.
We are actually taking photos of lions 3 meters away from us. From the other side, that is a miracle. Yeah, it's like people here have taught the animals to pose for visitors. Yeah.
So the Conservancy has 33,600 acres, and these acres belong to individual landowners. So they decided to bring all the land together, and they lease it to the Conservancy for free movement of wildlife, and they also benefit from leases. So they got a monthly revenue they receive from the Conservancy for leasing out land. This is now the map of the Conservancy. You can see how decorated it is. This is one Conservancy, the one lands with an escarpment that runs from one end of the Conservancy, actually in the middle of the Conservancy, all the way to the end of the Conservancy. You'll be able to see when you drive through. This is the escarpment. So it's a rich Conservancy in terms of Salt Lake. It's a pure grassland, sections in the hilly area with beautiful landowners. But all the land, I think the biggest point here is all the land belongs to the Maasai community. It used to be a communal land, and then after, I think around 2002, that's when subdivision started happening in the area. Each individual was allocated land, but they wanted to know, what do we do with the land now that we have, and it's for individuals? Is it sustainable just to use for livestock? Of course not. So they decided to bring their lands together to make sure that they benefit from the land. So there's a lot of benefits that we've received. I'm a landowner myself, so there's a lot of benefits that we've received from the Conservancy. We have bursaries for the school students, which we do on every term. So 3 times a year, that is the terms in Kenya. We also have direct revenue to the landowners. We also have grazing, which is more valuable grazing if you compare to many years. So since the start of the Conservancy, we've never had a time where we lost livestock to drought. I remember when I was growing up, we every 5 years, there's always a period where we have to migrate to other sections of Kenya, just because of the drought. But since the start of the Conservancy, nobody has lost livestock to drought. We haven't been moving around to other sections of the country. So we settled in well in the area with more than enough for our livestock. Just the aspect of making sure that we have sustainable numbers of livestock. We also offer internship for the students from the community. So we have some of them who are interns from the college, and it's a way of getting experience that they need to get jobs. I think the guides who are here will explain to you how much the land has changed in terms of also development. Developments are okay. We have good development in terms of nice homes and a decent living for the local communities. Those are very interesting things. If you came in the Mara a long time ago, I think the livelihood of the people and also just the way of life was way different. So the Conservancies has impacted. People are staying good life. In terms of health, they're aware. There's been trainings on health issues and such.
The name of the camp can't come there and disturb.
Pardon?
The name of the camp cannot come there and disturb.
No.
They don't appear here.
No, they don't. Unless it's in the night, that's when now we have those animals coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, but anything before 10 o'clock, we're always very safe. This donation card, again, we are back in ecotourism. That is one of the things that we do in Porini in terms of how we deal out here. So this is a donation card where we've identified or partnered with the community. So each and every guest who stays here, they always have an opportunity to either assist and chip into giving back and also contribute in enhancing our life. We are partnering with everybody here. That is from the community, which is us, the people. We are conserving the animals, and also we are trying to improve our lives by either building schools, colleges, and things like that. So the only way to run it is that we partner with our
So this is now generally what we are. We are 24 conservancies, about 17,000 landowners, because these title deeds have been subdivided. So a landowner is someone who owns that piece of paper. So out of that, number of households of 100,000, the people who are beneficiaries out of this. And their numbers keep on growing. Some of the conservancies have started, they are just starting now, because the idea has been beneficial, because it is tied up to benefits, grazing, and all those other things. So it brings with it all those kind of incentives. In 2005, and some of the people now, because of a lack of transparency, a lack of proper revenue collection, people now started to fight against one another. Maybe money is not being collected transparently, it's not being distributed transparently, maybe a few families are benefiting out of others, and then a new model that we call the Conservancies came up. So in 2005, when Olkinyei started, now the likes of Porini, when they came, they just organized the individual landowners with their titles. Come with your title and you'll be paid this much. Only until up to 2014, that conservation was legitimized in Kenya. And the issue of now conservancies came up into being, and they are now formalized in Kenya. And that is now when we started to form the national umbrella of conservancies in Kenya, Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Association. Because we have land outside there, the communal land, because I was saying in the state protected areas, they only have like 30% of wildlife. But 70% of other wildlife is in this community land. So it is so much important that they go parallel with the KWS protected areas, but they still roam around freely in this community land. And if they are not protected, they could just easily become extinct completely. So when this was legitimized, Kenya has now set up a number of conservancies, and they have them in types. So we have a group conservancy, a private conservancy, and a community conservancy. So there are 3 types of conservancies now in Kenya. So now we have the umbrella, a body of conservancies in Kenya, and then now it has got 12 regions across the entire country. So we are one of the membership of regional organizations of Kenya Wildlife Conservancy Association. So out of this, now having the 24 conservancies, how the structure now will look like is that the conservancies are the owners of Maasai Mara Wildlife Conservancy Association. We are not an NGO. We are not a government entity, and neither are we an NGO, but we are an association. We are a membership of association of 25 conservancies in the Mara.
The Maasai Mara now, we say our elephants, our lions, they pay for accommodation. They are using our land and they pay us. Yeah, they pay rent. So why don't we love them and they pay us? Yeah. So that is the relationship. Because people have a bad perception that the wild animals are dangerous, and you only know about that. Wild animals can also be very, 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 very profitable, and you can earn from them.
You use, there's a pen that you use like instead of using a finger, it's like a mouse. You just click, so enjoyable, even children. They like it very much. So once they are left by a teacher to work by themselves, you see a child coming and doing it. No longer children getting worried like before when they see a teacher. Oh, he has a stick coming for me. Things like that. But now they are very confident.
So that's how we use the screen. It makes the work easier and makes the learning free in the school. So all the learning areas are installed here from grade 1. And we have a timetable because everybody wants to use this screen. So we have a timetable on how we are supposed to attend the lessons using this screen.
Coming to Marifa Foundation, this is actually a project started by one of the clients. She said she wants to make the young people to emerge into conservation. And how are we going to do it? The best way to do it is that we actually try to educate the young people about conservation. The reason why we have to educate them is to see conservation moving ahead in the future. And the only way to capture this is to teach the young people.
I don't take the lesson outside this room because this room is meant for the Marifa Foundation. The equipment that are here, all the furnitures that are here are equipped by the Marifa Foundation. That's why we do use this room.
Congratulations on discuss and visiting us. Start the conservancy.
Very good. So, thank you very much, and thank you very much, madam. And thank you very much.
Amore Conservancy na etiwa na ngishu na da po na ogi kule.
Is the Conservancy is like the cows I have at home that I'm drinking milk.
Cow is a cow is a kule a Conservancy.
I'm also drinking the milk.
E wore ngara da na lo nai.
So if for any reason I go to heaven,
amoga yake
because one day I'll leave this world.
Na kai pota toton.
I will call them.
Ali ya jogo ya to ya na bi mungu Conservancy uling.
I make a will that you are to respect the Conservancy.
Ninyo ruru ngana le Conservancy na lo manjit.
So these are the landowners who are seated here. All these.
So
that is just now requesting that and is also appreciating, especially the employment that is there. So he said we are happy now getting money, in our banks. So well, he's actually requesting you make very good conservancy. Let's have a look.